really interesting if you look at the Republican numbers down ticket. We want to bring in a GOP voice here. Kodiak Davis is a Republican strategist and co-founder of the Republican Women's for Progress group. GOP women gained 10 seats in the House election this year. And, Kodiak, first I want to get your reaction to the election of President-elect Biden. What is there in your mind this morning?
Well, thank you for having me this morning, Tom. And I think in light of the news yesterday, I think I would say, first and foremost, a smooth transition of power is critical to our democracy, just like fair elections. And with the record voter turnout that we had this year, and as you mentioned, it was a very, very close race. So I was pleased to see that President-elect Biden spent much of his speech yesterday talking about unifying the nation. I think that was a great first step. And although it's hard to lose the presidency, certainly on an incumbency, I think that we know where the government is going next year. And I think that that's important for Americans.
People are going to drill into exactly, what happened in this election, Kodiak. But the fact of the matter is the Republicans picked up seats in the House right now, depending on how that Georgia Senate race, the pair of them, turns out, they are holding on to control of the Senate for now. What did you see in those House races with female Republican candidates that tells you that maybe the Republicans have something here that they could build on?
Sure. Well, a lot of the work that organizations like Republican Women for Progress, View PAC, Elevate PAC have been doing for years is trying to recruit and support Republican women to run for office. And that works sometimes in concert with the overall party structure, but definitely independently and as a kind of way to generate the pipeline of Republican women that are so necessary in order to get to the point where we're getting Republican women through their primaries and into the general elections. And then, as we saw this week, they are largely successful because they come from different backgrounds. They have different and meaningful sets of experiences and perspectives. And I think they're also very focused on solutions and solving problems and building community. And I think in a year like 2020, that message really resonated with voters. And I think having a record number of Republican women file to run for office was incredible.
So if the years under Donald Trump marked a switch to the right and conservative for the Republican Party, would more Republican women bring the Republican Party back to the center where those independent votes are?
Yes, I think so. I think when you look at the data around women and how women govern, there's great stats about how women are more likely to be bipartisan and they tend to co-sponsor at a rate just slightly above their male colleagues. So I do think there's a sense that women, as we like to say at Republican Women for Progress, we may disagree with you about 9 things, but we will look for that 10th to agree upon and we will build from there. And I think that's going to be critical as the nation faces problems like recovering from the COVID crisis, the economic recovery, and longer term issues like climate change and the healthcare issues that we face.
All right, Kodiak Davis, always a pleasure. We thank you for joining us on The Hill this morning.